Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. Today we will study chapter 5, Understanding Elementary Shape of Class 6. Introduction. This chapter mostly deals with the measuring of line segment, about angles and its type, and about triangles, their classifications, polygons, quadrilaterals and solid shapes. All these topics are explained in details below. First is line segment. A ruler or a divider is usually used to find the length of a line segment. The length of a line segment can be defined as the distance between its endpoints. Next is angles and its type. An angle is made up of any two rays which have a same endpoint or starting point. It can be better understood by the movement of a clock hand. When a clock hand moves, it forms an angle. To measure the angle a protractor is used, it should be noted that a straight angle is about 180 degrees and a right angle is about 90 degrees. Based on the degree, an angle can be classified into three main types. First is acute angle, obtuse angle and reflex angle. Acute angle. When an angle measures is less than a right angle, it is called an acute angle. Obtuse angle, when an angle measures more than a right angle but less than a straight angle, it is called an obtuse angle. Reflex angle, when an angle measures more than a straight angle, it is called a reflex angle. It should be noted that two intersecting lines forms a perpendicular if the angles formed between them is of 90 degrees. Triangles and its type. A triangle is a closed figure having three sides, this should be kept in mind, and three interior angles. A triangle can be classified on its length of sides and by angles. So based on sides, triangles are named as scalene triangle which has three sides and all the sides are unequal. Second is isosceles triangle and any two sides are equal in this triangle. Next is equilateral triangle. All the three sides of this triangle are equal. Now based on its angle, acute angle triangle, right angle triangle and obtuse angle triangle. Acute angle triangle, in this triangle all the angles are acute, and in right angle triangle any one angle is of 90 degree. Obtuse angle triangle, in obtuse angle triangle any one angle is obtuse. Next are polygons. Polygons are closed geometrical shape having at least three sides, three angles. Based on the number of sides, a polygon can be categorized into multiple types. Some of the most common polygons are triangle which has three sides, quadrilateral which has four sides, pentagon which has five sides, hexagon which has six sides, heptagon which has seven sides, octagon which has eight sides, nonagon has nine sides and decagon has 10 sides. Next is perpendicular lines and perpendicular bisector. When two lines intersect and the angle between them is a right angle, then the lines are said to be perpendicular, and we write perpendicular like this, if you understand. A perpendicular to a line segment that divide it exactly at the midpoint is called a perpendicular. Whereas line is divided into two equal halves, then we call it a perpendicular bisector. Classification of triangles. Triangles are those closed figures which have exactly three sides. Based on the sides and angles, they can be classified into different triangles. So on the basis of length of sides, the triangle are divided into three types. First is scalene triangle, second is isosceles triangle, and third is equilateral triangle. And on the basis of angles, a triangle is divided into three categories again. First one is acute angle triangle, second is obtuse angle triangle, and third is right angle triangle. Next is quadrilaterals. As mentioned in the table above, a quadrilateral is one of the types of polygons having four sides and four angles. A quadrilateral can be categorized into five main types which are explained below in the table. First is rhombus. It has four sides of equal length. Square. It is a rhombus with four right angles. Parallelogram. It has two pairs of parallel sides. Rectangle. It has a parallelogram of four right angles, and trapezium. It has one pair of parallel sides. Next is solid shapes or 3D shapes. A solid shape or a three-dimensional shape or a 3D shape can be classified as an object which can be measured in three directions, that is the length, breadth and height. For example, 3D shape are cylinder, cube, cuboid and sphere. Check out three-dimensional shape to learn more about them and to acquaint with the terms related to them. You can find it in your area or you can find it in your environment also. Next is measuring the line segment. The distance between the endpoints of a line segment is called its length. A line segment can be measured by comparison by observation or by tracing or by comparison using a ruler and a divider. Next is positioning error. To get the correct measure, the eye should be correctly positioned just vertically above the mark. Errors can happen due to angular viewing. Next is quadrilaterals. A quadrilateral is a polygon which has four sides. Comparison between different quadrilaterals. Let's see some different types of quadrilaterals. First one is rhombus. So this is the shape of a rhombus. Rhombus is a special type of parallelogram where all its sides are equal. The diagonals are perpendicular to each other. They also bisect the angles. Next is trapezium. So this is a figure for trapezium. A trapezium is a quadrilateral where only two sides are parallel to each other. No sides, angles and diagonals are concurrent. A polygon is a closed figure made up of line segment in two dimensions. Polygons are classified based on the number of sides. So the first polygon is triangle which has 3 sides, quadrilateral which has 4 sides, pentagon which has 5 sides, hexagon which has 6 sides, heptagon which has 7 sides, octagon which has 8 sides. Now rectangle. A rectangle is a quadrilateral which has opposite sides equal and all angles are of right angles. And the diagonals are also equal, and this is a figure for rectangle. The opposite sides are equal and all the angles are of 90 degree and the diagonals are also equal to each other. Next is a square. A square is a quadrilateral which has all sides equal and all angles are of 90 degree. The diagonals are equal and perpendicular to each other. And this is a figure for a square. All the sides are equal in square and all the diagonals are equal and even perpendicular to each other and all angles are of right angle or of 90 degree. Next are three-dimensional shape. Three-dimensional shape are those shapes that can be projected on paper but not drawn on paper. These shapes are called solid shapes which we feel, touch and we can imagine and we can see these shapes around our surrounding. Next, these shapes have faces, edges and vertices. Each side of a three-dimensional solid is called its face. Two faces meet at a line segment. These faces are called the edge. And then the edges meet at a point and that point is called a vertex. You can see it in this figure. This is a face. This is a vertex where two line segments are joining and this is an edge. Special 3D shapes. So there are some special 3D shapes. First one is known as a triangular prism. So let's see about it. Solids such as the prism and pyramid are considered as special 3D shapes. Since their structure is very unique, that is why it is called a special 3D shape. A prism with a triangular base is called a triangular prism. This is the shape of a triangular prism where its base is of triangle. That is why it is known as a triangular prism. Next is a pyramid with a rectangular base. It is called a rectangular pyramid. You can see it in this figure because its base is rectangle and this top is known as an apex. Because its base is rectangle, that is why we call it a rectangular pyramid. So I hope you understand these concepts and you are able to understand all these topics easily. Next are angles. The amount of rotation about the point of intersection of two planes is called an angle. Right, straight and complete angle. Right angle is of 90 degree. You should keep these terms in mind. Straight angle is of 180 degree. Complete angle is one complete revolution or it is of 360 degrees. Acute, obtuse and reflex angle. Acute angle is lesser than 90, obtuse angle is greater than 90 and reflex angle is greater than 90. Tools of construction. Ruler and divider are used to measure the length of line segments. A protractor is also used to measure the angles. Measuring angles. Angles are measured in degrees. Angles are measured by using a